Say good morning from a chilly Gauteng here to all our assessors and moderators with Teta. Just to go over that agenda and make it a bit easier to understand, let's just say, first of all, that we need to start looking at ways of forming a group which we can then represent to Teta as being a group rather than a whole bunch of individuals. Obviously, it takes time, and when individuals point out certain indiscretions or issues that we might have, they tend to get overlooked. But as a group, we have a better chance of putting forward to Teta recommendations and things that will make our lives easier and improve the situation between Teta and the training providers. At the moment, if you look on the agenda that I sent out, there is a little thing there, and you'll see that you've got Teta and you've got external moderators. And then underneath that, you've got providers and assessors and moderators. And there seems to be a bit of a communications gap there, which is not uncommon. This has been going since 2003 or 2002 when I first started with Teta. We need to have some form of a link with Teta so that we can then put forward things that need to be dealt with rather than just leaving it to Teta. Unfortunately, these people are under pressure. They are not subject matter experts in the regulatory fields. And that could be our purpose as an ETD or moderator group, which will include assessors, obviously, because we have to liaise with assessors as well. Our value to training providers is very simply, we should be there to improve the quality assurance process of training providers. And that means we need to know what are the processes that we should be applying, what are the processes that should be in practice by providers and practitioners, and mainly looking at alignment to proper policies in the form of the SACWA policies and guidelines that have been issued over the years. We need to have a look at the forum itself, the association. We need to make up a structure. Obviously, this will all be free at the moment, but at some stage we might need to formalize this, which might mean we would then have to charge fees and so forth. Ideally, we could even look at becoming a professional body, but that's something to look at later. For now, we need to look at a structure or formation of the actual association. I need to have a look at people who are available for a committee, and if there's any nominations for people in particular, let's have a look at those things and see what we can put together to make this work. We need to look at membership requirements. Obviously, people need to be Teta registered assessors and moderators, but we need to look at other things too. We need to look at a standard moderation process. I do have a pack that I'm sending out to everybody to have a look at, and let's go over it and see if we can use it. We can also then look at things where we can advise Teta on things like practitioner registration criteria, which at the moment is not working. There's delays, and it's not sufficient just to have a CV supplied and maybe some verification reports to say whether the person is qualified or not. We need to look at knowledge that the people have, because this is something that is sadly lacking. And unfortunately, because of all the misinterpretations, there's so many different interpretations of what should be that nobody is being consistent. We also need to look at providing guidance for external moderators who in the main are not LMO specialists and do not understand the context generally under which lifting machinery operator training providers function. And then that could be something that we could look at in providing some sort of support or guidance for external moderators so they don't overturn results that they shouldn't, and they overturn results that they should. If that's necessary. We can also look at other possible services that we can offer as a forum or association. And to that end, I think also have a look for you guys who haven't entered yet. I'm running an ETD practitioner support program. This mainly goes about the knowledge that you require for your specific fields that you're working in. If anybody is interested, please contact me. You've got my email address. Let's get this thing going, and let's see if we can use this perhaps in the future as an entry requirement for people who are coming into the industry. It's important from our point of view because there are too many people who are currently registered that do not have the necessary knowledge to be able to apply and advise people, whether it's providers, whether it's customers, whether it's learners. There is not sufficient knowledge of the regulatory fields to be able to convey this message across to people so that people understand what is required. So let's have a look at this, guys. Any comments, any queries, anything? You've got my email. I'm sending out this video onto YouTube, and I'm sending out the link and other documents to the guys that have previously shown any interest. If you have any other people who are interested, please remember I'm calling it a moderator group, but this applies to both assessors and moderators. We need to work together in order to make this work. So if you're an assessor or a moderator registered with Teta, please feel free to apply. And I'm always here and ready to answer any questions or to discuss anything that you might need. Thanks, guys. Go well. Be good.